So welcome to the second video on reporting. This is reporting on material movements, weighments, batches, products, and so on. So you get to it by going to the menu up here at the top left, home menu, then inventory, reporting, and SS move detail. So it defaults, these are the filters along the top, it defaults to batching lines, as in batches made, production as opposed to raw material consumption, and in the current month. So if you want to look a bit further, get rid of one of these filters here. And what you can do then is click on the down arrow, add custom filter, ID. Now here are all the things you can look at. But if I say the start date is after, let's put a start date in. So say something like the 9th of June at say 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so apply. So it's the start date after this. So we add that. Now we've got much less batches here. So we might want to put an end date in here. Add custom filter. The end date. Now here is the end date here. So the end date wants to be before, or maybe before or equal to date. Let's say Monday here at 6 o'clock. Okay, apply, and we add that filter, and it reduces it to only those batches which were between the start date and the end date. So now just say you want to look for a certain type of batch. What you can do is you can go back to custom filter. You can look at the product. I scroll down here for the main product, and then the one is contains, and you want to look at flushing batches. Add that. So now these are all flushing batches. Now just say that you're interested in all batches over a certain amount. Now there's some here 25, some 50. So what you can say is custom filter again. Here is the, let me look at it. Those are the difference. That's the difference between the theoretical and the actual weight weighed. So you can go for expected quantity is greater than or equal to, say, 55. Add that. And this is the only one which has got the expected quantity which is greater than 55. Now if you want to take off a filter, this is our filter here. If you want to modify it, first of all, let's just click on that, and then you can say, okay, it's greater than or equal to, just say 50, and confirm that. Then you can see these are the ones which are greater than 50. So if we go back a bit further and just say that you're interested in 49, probably will be the same. So there it is there. So these are all the flushing batches between those two ends and times, and between the start date and the end date, flushing batches that have been made. Now when you look at some of the custom filters and the ID, let me just explain the ID. So when it says float, that means a number. That means a number like 12.5, that's a float. Here's a date, and it's just a date without the time. So these are floats. So here's a date and time. So when it says the end date, it's date and time. And if we scroll down a bit further, Boolean, so this means it's either true or not true, false or not. And line type, there's a lot of variations there. So now you can see all of the fields that you can look at. So if I say consumption, let me just roll up into here. is consumption. So if I say consumption, so when I say is, so it's either set or not set. So consumption, now this is a raw material. So if I add this, now it's nothing because this is the production filter here. So if I take this off, now these are all of the raw materials in those flashing batches between the start date and the end date. So now let me just change the end date to be a little bit later on. And that's a week further. So it's got a few more here. Now what I'm going to show you is here. So the lot numbers, this lot number here and this lot number is the same thing. So just say then that I want to pick up certain lot numbers, so I can say add a custom filter. Here is, so if I go to lot number, lot serial number here. So if it contains, just say 122, couple there. So we add that, and now these are the only two batches. So we can also search on things like scales and feeders. So likewise, here's the custom filter. So the ID. Now if I go to down the bottom, I happen to know it's down here. FDEV is the feed device. So this is the weigher, and this is the feeder. So if I go to feeder then, is in or equals, you can say. So if you're only looking at one type of feeder, these are some of the feeders here. You can either type it in, like FD5, which is perfectly okay, or you can press this search more, and then these are all the feeders that you can have on the system. So you can say FD5 here, and then add that. Now, we obviously haven't got any which that went to that feeder, so if we just remove that again, so that all those feeders have to be in FD2. Now, if you want to look at the difference, say, so if you want to look at something which is overweight, so we've got 2 here, so if you go to the difference, so let's see, here's the difference. So this is the difference in terms of kilos, or you can have it in percent. So if the difference is greater than 1, which is the same, 1 or 1.0 the same, add that, and you see this is the only batch. So with lots of filters here, so it's a batching line, the start date, so it's after the start date, the code main products contains flush, the expected quantity is greater than 49, that's of the product, it's the batch size, so it's consumption, this is a raw material, so there's the end date, so it's before that. The lot number contains 1212, and then the difference. So this is the difference is it's overweight by at least 1 kg. So I hope this explains some of the other things. But before I go, let me just explain how you can save this, because it's a bit of a pain to do this. So you can save the current search. So either you can save it as the default filter if you want, store it, or you can save it for everybody if you click the shared, and then you type just the new value in here. Sorry. So just type in whatever you want to call it then. Saved filter 02, say. Save it, and now you can see it's in the list here. So when you come to it now, if you select SFO2, it automatically sets everything up for you. I hope this helps. Thank you very much.